morning. I want to talk to you this morning a little bit about branding. This is Dr. JP. One of the first things that you want to do is you want to decide what your name is, especially when you're somebody like me that have lived multiple lives. Um, I'm not talking about supernatural lives. As a teenager, I changed my name, and then as a young adult, I changed my name to Penda. And then when I had to return to the workforce later on in years, I had to go back to my legal name, which was Janice. So now my ministry is JP, which is Janice Penda, and my recent married name is Donald. Now, why is that important? It's important because the algorithms pick up information about you and do whatever it wants to do with it. Now that we have AI that is active, it's doing its own thing out there. Especially important, and I want to share this with people of color because those that have programmed AI have not really programmed us very positively. So it's important that we positively represent ourselves, okay? So, which means if you out there clowning, then it's going to represent you as a clown. So whatever you're doing out there, it's definitely going to pick that up, and that is how it's going to represent you out there. Okay. Unfortunately, it also classifies um, our entire race as a certain type of character, and so it's important for us um, that have a little bit of knowledge to understand that we need to work at that and we need to educate our brothers and sisters. Now, what I want to share with you, besides the branding, which I guess this kind of work in there also. There's so much scamming going out there. There's a lot of folk that want to self-publish. I actually got ripped off for, well, about 9 grand um, with my book On Your Face Exposing Demonic Activity because I did not know, which I imagine that many of you have already learned. I did not know how to go directly to Amazon, and now also Barnes and Noble is self-publishing as well and publish my book. So because I was a little intimidated about it, I saw on the internet, and I think it was Facebook, a group that said they can help me. Well, they helped me all right. They helped me out of several $1,000s and did not deliver what they were supposed to deliver. So there's a lot of scammers out there. So I want to caution you to please do your research. Research these companies. Now, let's get back to the algorithms. So what happened was I put in the name of the company because they were using Macmillan. So Macmillan is a very old publishing company, and they usually publish educational books. So I put in the name, and what came up was the original publishing company. And the reason I'm telling you this is because they use bits and pieces of known publishers to defraud you out of your money. So, what came up initially was not the correct information uh, about the particular organization that was publishing my book. Now, with that said, after a while, by this time I've already given them $9,000, invested $9,000, thinking they were going to help me with marketing. And, they did upload the book. Of course, I had to go in, change my login. I'm still waiting to be paid from Barnes and Noble because they got the book in Barnes and Noble and Amazon. Have gotten paid a little bit from Amazon. So let me get back to my main point. My main point is okay, you have to take control of your information yourself. You have to be very, very cautious of who's helping you because a lot of the helpers only want to help you out your cash, okay? They're not really interested in helping you out with uh, your publishing. What they call themselves doing for me was they, in order to convince me that they were actually helping me, they produced a couple of PowerPoints which looked really great, and I think I ended up paying $2,000 for those PowerPoints, something I could have done myself. Okay, so the companies. So they took a piece of the name and of a famous publisher. And so I'm thinking that I'm dealing with the famous publisher. Once I realized I wasn't getting any results, I Googled again. This time I got the famous publisher, which was Macmillan. And I logged onto their website. When I logged onto their website, it showed the scammers and gave several, about 10 different names, I think it was. It was a lot of different names that scammers had been using, pretending to be them. And of course, cautioning folk to look out for those particular names. Well, I think I added one more to that list. Okay, the ones that they had used for me. So it's not just the one company. It's what I want to alert you to. It is folk out there using variations of well-known companies to scam you out of your monies. Um, so this is Dr. JP. I just want to say you have to keep control of your brand. I want you to like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. There's a couple of more scam situations I want to share with you, um, but probably not right now because I really want to just concentrate on the self-publishing part of this in order to alert you that you must be very careful. You can go directly to Amazon. You can go directly to Barnes and Noble to publish your book. But one other thing I want to say, there are people out there that are publishing books because they've taken information from other folk and they're publishing as if it was their book. Okay, there's a word for that, y'all. It's called plagiarism. Uh, just because your pastor does this great sermon, that does not mean that you can take his sermon and put it in a book and put your name on it as if it was yours. And there are people that are doing things like that. That's called plagiarism. It's actually illegal. Um, Now, unless somebody catch you, you can probably get away with it. Now, the thing with AI is if you take information from anyone, you must document it that this information came from whomever, okay? You must use the date, the year, and whomever you got the information from, or else you are stealing someone else's material. So you can reference someone else's material, but you can't take it and just put your name on it. Um, my writings actually come from my life experiences and from research, but I do make it my business to publish uh, where I gathered the research from. One thing about the type of books that I write, um, they are books to help you be the best that you can be. Um, One of my testimonies, and this testimony is actually a part of my brand. One of my testimonies is that I saw the last days. And upon seeing the last days, I'm here to tell you that very few people are a part of the elect. Why do I say that? I say that because people think that you can compromise with sin just because at some point you got saved. I want to remind you when Jesus came out of the desert for 40, after 40 days, 40 nights, and Satan came to him to tempt him, he said, I sure, it was obvious that he could have called down angels to catch him if he threw himself off the mountain. But what he said was, I do not tempt my Father. And I think a lot of people, are doing just that. They are tempting our Father. If you are a Christian, you cannot knowingly go and do things that are against his will and then go, oh, I'm sorry, and think that all is forgiven. That is not how it works. Anyway, more later. This is Dr. JP. I just want to thank you for taking the time to log into my channel. I want to encourage you to like and subscribe to my channel. I also want to encourage you to follow. I finally learned how to use my technology. Had to self-train. So I learned a little bit better on how to use my technology. And I want to thank God for it. And I want to thank you for taking the time to like and subscribe to my channel. And we're going to be doing more things now that I know how to utilize my technology better. I'm going to do more yard stuff, more gardening, and that is one of my stress relievers. My stress reliever is gardening, and also putting your hands in the dirt, and there is a chemistry there. Okay, um, we came from the dirt. We will return back to the dirt, but there is a beauty and a warmth with touching that dirt, touching that energy that regenerates me and help me to be my best self. Anyway, love you. Have a blessed and awesome day. I love you, but God loves you more.